Okay, so welcome to today's training. We are happy to have you join us. As you already aware, this is a training that will focus on how we can use Microsoft Excel for our data analysis. And the training is being offered by CIVITRA Research. We are a consulting firm based in Nairobi, and we do so many other things other than training. We are experts in carrying out evaluations, monitoring and evaluation, research, and we also offer trainings in different areas, use of statistical softwares, and so many other health-related trainings. And today we are happy to have you join our training. We are here with the rest of the team from CIVITRA Research. Eva Muluve is here. Our today's presenter, who is Alice, is also here. My name is Ron. And we are happy to have all of you. So I hope that you were all able to register for the training. And so what will happen is that at the end of today's training, we will be sharing a recording from this session. So we are happy to have all of you join. What will happen is that we will keep all our microphones muted. And in case you have any questions, ensure that you use the chat window to type it in. So Eva, who is here, and myself will be from time to time responding to the issues. So today's trainer is Alice Anyango, and she will be taking us through a live demonstration on how you can use Microsoft Excel to manage data and use it for analysis. But just remember that today's class is the beginner class. We will share details about our advanced class later towards the end of today's meeting. So feel welcome. We are hoping that you have your laptop somewhere nearby, and you will be from time to time doing what the presenter is doing, at least so you get to learn how to use Microsoft Excel to manage your data. So we are happy to have you, and wish to take the time to now invite Alice to go ahead and make her presentation. So Alice,
hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. So
Okay.
thank you. My name is Alice Olwach, and I'm going to take you through an Excel beginner class. Today is a practical class, so hope you're ready with your Excel. So let's get right into it. So our learning objectives for today is how to get started with Excel, how to format data validation, lookup functions, and if functions. So as we all know, Excel is a readily available application in MS Office suite. So getting started with the interface. So this is the interface of what an Excel looks like when you open it. This is the quick access toolbar. This is where usually all important tools can be placed. For example, when you open your Excel, you'll notice that there is the save, undo, and redo button. Then we have the ribbon here. The ribbon usually contains the main tabs, such as here we can see we have home, insert, page layout, formulas. So that is the ribbon. Then here we have the formula bar. Formula bar is where all the calculations that you're writing, or all the formulas that you're writing that apply to a particular cell, they'll all show in that formula bar. Then the spreadsheet grid is where all our data goes to, and all our charts and graphs are usually in the spreadsheet grid. Then at the bottom of the interface, there's the status bar that shows what is happening to Excel at the particular time. So let's go into an illustration of how to we want to see how we can customize the ribbon. So this is what a Microsoft sheet, this is the sheet 1. This is what a Microsoft Excel looks like. I hope you guys have opened your Microsoft Excel. So this is what I said was the quick access toolbar. Then here is where the whole of this place is called the ribbon. Then this is what I said was the formula bar, the spreadsheet grid, and the status bar at the bottom here. So you'll go to this ribbon, then you right click. First of all, let us see how we can collapse the ribbon. There's a shortcut to collapsing the ribbon, which is Control plus F1 if you want to have more spreadsheet space. So you just Control plus F1. It makes the ribbon to disappear. When you want to bring it back, you can just again use Control plus F1 and it will definitely come back. So let's customize the ribbon. You right click, then you select customize. And then this is what will open. So customization is just you want to modify a tab to your liking, for example.
Hi, if you know you're joining the meeting now, just ensure that your microphone is muted. And so Alice, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm saying we are trying to customize the ribbon. So I've right-clicked the ribbon, selected customize. Then this is what has been brought. So you first have to add a new group. Let us start with adding a new tab. Tabs are things like, for example, the insert tab, the tabs that we have in the ribbon. So we can enter our own new tab. Then when you enter a new tab, we can see the new tab is here. The new tab is here together with these other tabs such as home, insert, page layout. Then you can rename your new tab. So for example, let's give it the name CIVITRA Research. Then you click OK. And then now you can choose any command that you want to quickly access and then place it under the new group. So for example, you can say font color. Then you you click the CIVITRA Research, then you say like color, you add it there. So we can see the font color is added under this new group. You can also add, for example, you want to add charts, all chart types there, you just add it there. When you click OK, we can see that the CIVITRA Research, the new tab that you've created, has been added up here. So when you want to reset, you want to remove that customization, you just go back to customize the ribbon. You go to reset down here. Then you click reset all customization. Then you say OK. Now it has disappeared. So that is how we customize. Now let me show you how to move or copy an Excel worksheet. So so this is the sheet. This is an example of an Excel worksheet. So sheet 1, for example, let me add some data inside it. Then we see how we can move it or how we can copy it. So you have items, then the cells, the first item, for example, furniture. Then let's say the sales for furniture was 1 million. Let me add lampstands. We can see that this word lampstands is not well fitting in this cell B12, so you can go up here and expand it like that. So that is how you expand the cell. Let's say it's 80,000. The total sales for lampstands is 80,000. Then you enter. So let's also rename this to sales. For let's say sales 2019. Then you enter. Now I want to talk about how to move or copy a worksheet. So you are supposed to right click under this sales 2019. You select move or copy. Then this dialog box is opened. It is asking before sheet sales 2019 or move to end. Now when we want to create a copy, for example, we have sales for 2020. What we sold like lampstands and furniture are the same, but now maybe the figures are different. So we don't want to waste our time writing again the same number of items. So this is when we create a copy. You check that create a copy, and then when you check we have a new copy of the same items with the cells, so you can be able to change your cells and still restore the items. So that is how you copy a cell, or that is also how you move a cell. So let's continue and go into knowing how to format a cell. Formatting a cell means changing a cell appearance without changing the cell content. That is how we format a cell. So you come to a particular cell that you want to format, you right click, you click format cells. Then we have various categories. We have general number, currency. So ours it's a currency. We can put it into the currency we want, whether dollars or any type of currency that you're using. So I'll go with dollars. So at this point, you can also adjust the decimal places if it was a decimal number. So for today, I'll go with currency. Then you just click OK. But I want to show you how you can also change the font. This is where you change the font to either Calibri or Agency FB or Aharoni. You can add borders. This is the outline. Let's add an outline. Then we can also fill. Let's add the color green. Then you click OK. So that is how you align a cell, or you can also just come to this place where it's written number. It can also help with formatting a cell, whether to put in an accounting format or increasing or reducing the decimal places. So let me just undo what I did. Then I'm removing the borders that I had placed. So that is how we format a cell. Now let me get back to So we have seen how to customize the ribbon, just as I have shown you, how to copy or move a worksheet. Then I've shown you how to format a cell. And now let's get right into data validation. So data validation is the process of ensuring that a program operates on clean, correct, and useful data. So we use data validation in Excel to make sure that users enter certain values into a cell. So let's get practical with it. Let's see an example of how we can use data validation. Okay, for example, you can write we can ask this question. You can ask this question to, for example, the people answering an interview question. Let's type how many glasses of alcohol do you drink per day? How many glasses of alcohol do you drink per day? Then question mark. So we can say that it's not fitting in my cell. So I have told you how to expand on the cell. You just go on top of your cell B, then you extend. Yeah, now it fits. Then let me show you how to data validate. You click that cell, the cell where I want a certain type of data to be entered. So after clicking, you go to data, then you come here under data tools, you click data validation. Then for instance, we want to limit this person to enter whole numbers or in a certain range, for example, from 0 to 10 glasses a day. Assuming that is, we're just making an assumption that that is the maximum they can drink. So under allow, we have clicked data validation, and this is the dialog box that has opened. There's the allow, you click allow, then you put whole number because you want this data to be whole numbers. Then the minimum that the person should enter is 0, and the maximum I want it to be 10. Then I go ahead to the input message. You can either choose to put a title, or you can not put a title and just put the input message. But here I'll put the title. So my title will be glasses of alcohol. Then my input message is please enter a number between 0 to 10. So this input message, what happens is that when that person selects that cell, that is what will appear. That is what will appear and will prompt that person to put a value between 0 to 10. Then the error alerts. There are various, you can put stop or warning or information. So let's just go with stop. You can either choose to put a title or not put a title. So let me put a title. Let me say not a valid number. Then under the error message, I can write, are you drinking too much? Then I click OK. So you see, now when I want to answer that question, how many glasses of alcohol do you drink per day? There's a prompt that says glasses of alcohol. Please enter a number between 0 to 10. So let me put my number. When I say 1, it actually accepts. Now let me try putting like 20. Now you're seeing what is happening. It's saying not a valid number. And then, are you drinking too much? These are all the statements that I had entered when trying to validate. So it will prompt me like this is not the expected answer. And then now I correct. Yeah. So let's see what a drop-down list is. Let's continue to see how to create a drop-down list. So drop-down list, it's just a list of choices of which somebody can enter when answering a particular question. So let's practically see how we can create a drop-down list. So let me get rid of this, get rid of that, and do. So for example, if I put here, I write like food, then now this is in the first sheet. For instance, I've written food. Now somebody is supposed to choose from my list that I want to create. Then I go to another sheet too and like write my choices of the kind of food that I expect that person to enter. So for example, pizza, you can put fries, then let's add noodles. Now we go back to this sheet 1. Next to food, this is the place where I'm expecting that person to make a choice on the type of food they want to eat. So after clicking this cell, we go to data again. Under data tools, we choose data validation. Now under settings, in this allow, under settings in allow, we will choose now lists. Then it will come to source. Now on our source, we'll come to sheet 2 and select all this as our source. And then we click OK. Now when this person comes to put these options for food, they'll find a list to choose from. So for example, if fries or noodles or pizza. So yeah, that is how a drop-down list is created. So when we want to add something to the drop-down list, you just come and select one of the choices, right click, you click insert, you choose shift cells down and place OK. Then we add soup, then enter. Now when you go back to sheet 1 and click on the choices, you can see that soup has been added. Now if we don't want these choices to be visible to the person who will be entering, you can just right click on this sheet 2 and click hide, so that now these choices are not cannot be seen. To unhide it, you just right click and you click unhide. Then it will bring sheet 2, you click OK. So now we have both. Now that is how we form a drop-down list. So if you have any questions, just write them in the chat box. I'll get to your questions. So that is how we create a drop-down list. I've shown you how to add or remove items. Now let's go directly to logical functions. Under the logical functions, we have if, or, not, and there's nested if. The if function checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true or another if false. The or function returns true if any of the conditions are true. So here is if any of them are true, it will return true, and if any of them are false, it will return false. Then the not condition, if logical is false, not will return true. So it's just the opposite. And if logical is true, not will return false. I don't know if you're getting that statement. If logical is false, not returns true. But if logical is true, not return false. As in the function in the brackets, if the function is in the bracket is true, which means not will return false, because it's like not, the function is not false, or the function is not true. Then the AND function, it returns true if all the conditions are true, and return false if any of the conditions are false. Nested if, the if function in Excel can be nested when you have multiple conditions to meet. The false value is being replaced by another if function to make a further test. So these are comparison operators. Equal is used to represent equal to. Greater than or equal is used to represent greater than or equal to. The less than or equal to. Then the not equal to is represented by this less than and greater than. That is the representation for not equal to. So let's practically see how these logical function, how we can use them, and how we can nest, and how we can go about the various logical functions. Okay, so let's start with a simple example. For example, you have prices and results. So we want to, let's try and create the logical functions. Now let's use the function if. So in this case, we are going to go with if the prices are less than $500, you record it as low. Otherwise, you record it as high. What I mean by otherwise is, I mean if it's greater than $500, you'll record it as high. So you for a function, you first have to start with the equal sign. Then you put if. You can either put if capital or if small, it will still work. Then open the bracket. If this cell A2, so it is like a representation of all the cells in the A column. So if A2 is less than, if A2 is less than 500, comma, you have to put a comma, then you register it as low. So you should notice that all the statements, you have to put them in quotations, comma, otherwise you record it as high. Then we enter. So we can see that 644 is greater than 500. That's why it has recorded it as high. So we manipulate this across all the cells. We just drag this downwards and we'll get the various allocation where we have 74 as low, which is correct, 312 as low, 970 as high. Yeah, so that function is if A2 is less than 500, you allocate it low, otherwise it will be high. Then let's go to another simple example. So in this example of USA, so you want to say, for example, if it's USA, we can, if it's USA, you place 5. If it's not USA, that is if it's UK, if it's UK, we place 0. So it's equals to, if it doesn't matter if it's capital or small, so let's go with small. If this A2 is equals to USA, you have to put USA in quotations because USA is like a text. You put comma if it's USA. If A2 is equals to USA, you place 5. Otherwise, you place 0. And then again, we drag the formula downwards, we manipulate it downwards. So if it's USA, it's 5. And if it's UK, we can say that 0 has been placed. Then let's go to another simple example. So you have start, end, and progress. And you know, for progress to be there, we must have an end value. And to find progress, you take end, you subtract start from end to get progress. And there must be an end for us to measure progress. So let's put a function. Let's use if still is equals to, if I've said for progress to be there, there has to be an end function. So if this B2, if B2 is not equal to nothing, if B2 is not equal to nothing, and we represent nothing with double quotation marks. If it's not equal to nothing, comma, you take B2 minus A2. Otherwise, you place nothing. Nothing is represented by double quotation marks. And then we get our progress. So it's a subtraction of the end minus the start. We drag it downwards. Yeah. Then let's see how we can use the AND function. So for example, want to get whether a function will qualify to be true or false. So let's create a function using AND. So it's that is equal to AND. And then if score 1, let's say is greater than 60, comma, and this score 2 is greater than 80. It will return whether it's true or false. You drag it downwards for the same formula to apply everywhere. So in the true function, you see that score 1, 679 is greater than 60, and this 94 is less than 80. And for the false, for this one, why it's false? Because 80 is not greater than 80, it's just 80. Then on how we can create OR is equals to OR. You open the brackets, function B2, we can say is greater than 60, comma, C2 is greater or equal to. So let's put equal to 80. So it will return it to be true. We drag the same formula downwards. Yeah, and it evaluates. So the function for OR is equal to OR. So it will return true or false if B2 is greater than 60 or C2 is greater or equal to 80. Now let's combine. Now we want to combine the two and OR. So in this case, my statement, I want product A to be, if product A, my condition is if product A is stable and if color is either blue or green, I want the price to be reduced by 50%. But if the product is neither stable nor is the color blue or green, I want the price to be reduced by 10%. So when I say that the price is reduced by 50%, meaning now the new price will be 50% of the original price. And when I want the reduction to be by 10%, the price will now be 90% of the original. So let's create that function, and it's combining and or. So is equals to if then we open the bracket, and then we open the bracket if this A2 is equals to table. We have to put a text in quotation marks. Then you put a comma. If it's stable, then we put the function or the color, which is at B2, is equals to red, is equals to blue or green. I mean, sorry, B2 is equals to green, comma, or B2 is equals to blue. And then we close the brackets. So I'm through with that bracket for or, and I'm also through with that bracket for and. So we add another bracket, then comma. If that's the case, we should multiply the price, C2. If that's the case, C2 should be multiplied by 0.5, which is a reduction by 50%. Otherwise, C2 should be multiplied by 0.9, which is a reduction of 10%. Then we finally close the brackets. So we get the final calculation to be 270. We drag it downwards. So let me explain the function again. Is equals to if, first of all, let me start with what is inside and. So it's and if the product is stable and it's either green or blue, you have to return a price that is reduced by 50%. Otherwise, the price, the sale should be reduced by a reduction of 10%, which is 90%. So let's see how we can nest the if function. So in this result, what you're nesting is if the score is 3, let's place it. Let's return excellent, and if the price is 2, we return good. If it's 1, we return poor, and if it's nothing among those values, we return invalid. So is equals to if the score is equals to 3, comma, you return excellent. You have to put the excellent in quotation because it's a text. Then comma, you again put if. You open the brackets. This B2 still is equals to 2, comma, the opening bracket. So we have 3 opening brackets. We have to also have 3 closing brackets. So we have excellent for 3, which is correct. We drag it down, and you have invalid for 25 because it's not among the 1, 2, 3. 1 for poor, 2 for good, as you said. Okay, yeah. So that is how we nest. So let me show you this nested if too. Let me just show you in case on how you can find out what to how a formula has been formed. If you're not sure of how it has come up, you can just come to formulas, then you go to evaluate formula. Since you had clicked on this cell F, now it will help you to understand how that formula was formed. So you can again click evaluate to see how the formula was formed from scratch. You can just continue to click evaluate. So that is how you can find out on how the formula came about. Okay, let's continue and go to the final objective of today. Oh, wait, my screen is. Okay, my taskbar is kind of lost. Let me. Wow. Okay, yeah, now we're back. Now we have seen how the different logical functions can be used and applied. Now let's continue to our final objective of today. Let's see how to use the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP function. So VLOOKUP basically means vertical lookup, and we also have HLOOKUP, which means horizontal lookup. So VLOOKUP, most of the time when you're looking for an exact match, we use the VLOOKUP function in Excel. So the syntax for VLOOKUP is equals to VLOOKUP, open the bracket, the value, comma, then the table, comma, column index, comma, then the range lookup. Then you close the bracket. So the value is the value to look for in the first column in a table. The table is the table array from which to retrieve a value, and the column index is the column in table from which to retrieve a value. The range lookup is the Boolean function of either true or false, where false brings us the exact match and true brings us an appropriate match. So let's see how we can look for a certain value in a table. Let's practically see that. So for example, you have this table, and when you'll be using the lookup function, it won't be just this simple table. So maybe you have like 1,000 values and you want to find a certain value in that big table. So for instance, you want to find the salary for a certain ID 53, but the table is so long and maybe it's reaching up to like 1,000 entries. So you'll say is equals to VLOOKUP, open the bracket, where the ID number is for, in this case, we have placed it here at H2, then comma, the table array, where to look for this salary. So it's from here up to the end of this table. This is the array. Then comma, the column index. So the column index is the index of what you're looking for, the index number of what you're looking for. So for instance, in this case, you're looking for the salary, and the salary is that this is the first index one, first name is the second, last name is the third, and salary is the fourth. So the column index for this case will be number 4, then comma, the range lookup, which is the Boolean function. In this case, we want an exact match, so we'll go with false. Then you enter. So if we look for the salary for ID number 53, we are getting $58 and 339. You can confirm. For Jessica Walker, the salary is $58, 339. So if you want to do a horizontal lookup, so horizontal lookup is the H lookup. It's just the opposite of this VLOOKUP. So it's where you have the table in a row format as opposed to this column format. So let's take this data and let's copy this data and put it in a horizontal way in order to perform a VLOOKUP function. So I've copied the table. Now let me paste it here. You right click, then you paste special. You come here to paste special. And then you come to this dialog box, check the transpose function, then you click OK, then it will be placed in a horizontal way. So let me expand this F cell. Yeah. So this is the kind of table where you perform a H lookup function. So in the same way, let's have ID and then salary. So for example, ID number 53. So salary, to get the salary is equals to H lookup. You open the bracket where the ID number is, then comma the array, which is from this place to this place. So that's the array, comma. You count the row where the salary is found. So so these are the rows and these are the columns. These ones going down, ones are the columns. So these ones are the rows. So the salary is at the fourth row, first, second, third, fourth. Comma 4, then comma, you write false. Then you close the bracket. So it will bring the salary, which is still 58,339. Yeah, so that is how you perform the H lookup function. So in case, for instance, so VLOOKUP is usually formed for the leftmost value in the table. So for instance, if in case in this case, if you are looking for, if you're using first name as the leftmost value, so let me replace this ID with first name. And then maybe we can say last name here. So for example, the first name is Emily. So let me write the VLOOKUP function, which is equals to VLOOKUP. You open the bracket. The leftmost value, in this case, we are using the first name as the leftmost value. So the one in this H2, comma, the array. So the array will start from where the leftmost value is, which is the first name to this place. Then comma. Now the the index of the column, the index of where to find the last name. So now we start counting from first name being leftmost in this leftmost value in this case. So it's 1, 2. So it's at number 2. Then comma false. Then you close the bracket. Wow. Okay, but let me see. Let me try with salary first. So is equals to VLOOKUP. Open the bracket, the leftmost, which is Emily, comma, the array, comma, then where the first name is, where the salary is, which is the third, then comma false. Let me see if it will work. Yeah, so Emily's salary is 64,901, which is correct. So that is basically how you perform a VLOOKUP function. Okay, my screen is kind of hanging a little bit. Let me check for the tab. Oh, oh my God. Okay, my screen is hanging, but that was my final function. That was our final objective for today. So basically, I'm through with what I was to teach you for today. Feel free to ask me any questions on what we have covered. The floor is open. Hello, Ron.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alice, for sharing your presentation with all of us. I hope that we have learned one or two things today for this beginner class. And so we are hoping to see you in our next class, which will be advanced. We are looking at the options we have and the content that we will be sharing on that day. So depending on the content we have, the class could go slightly more than an hour. So you just prepare and be ready for that. And we are also hoping that when you come for the next class, you will have your laptops in case you didn't have any laptop today. So ensure you have your laptop. And we also wish to share that we, other than conducting free trainings, we also have courses that are paid for. And we are currently running some discounts that you can take advantage of. So we have a course on data management and analysis using Stata. Currently, we have our cohort 3 of our class going on, and the class should be ending this week. And so if you are interested in joining our next class that begins on July 21st for the data analysis using Stata, get in touch with us. Our email address is info@civitraresearch.com. And we also plan to have a qualitative course using NVivo with the class slotted to begin in August. So feel free and get in touch with us if you want to be part of that class. We will be sharing information on how you can register and take advantage of the offers we currently have for the trainings that we have. And then later in August, towards the end of August, we will have a course on data management and analysis, data management, analysis, and graphics using R software. So if you would want to learn how to use R, then you should also take advantage when we put up an advertisement for the course. So based on the schedule that we have, the advanced class for data analysis using Excel should be happening around August 6th. And like I say, let's be ready to just spend more time for this class that is coming up. So if you have any questions or if you would like to follow up on any of our trainings, feel free and send us an email. I will be typing our email address on the chat window shortly. So get in touch with us. But we are hoping to see all of you again when we put in information about the advanced class and the rest of our classes. So thanks everyone for coming, and we are hoping to see you again soon, either for the next class. Yes?
There are questions in the chat box.
Okay, go ahead and respond to them.
Okay.
So we have a question. I could just tell you the questions that we have. We have a question on from Catherine Masharia, which says, as you send the recording, I think that's a comment, it's not a question. Could you send dummy questions on VLOOKUP if functions for more practice? So she's putting in a request, but you go ahead and read the rest of the questions and respond.
Okay.
I think there's a question around the charges for the other trainings.
Yeah, so for the starter course that we have currently running, whose class begin on July 21st, we all in other times without a discount, we charge 35,000 Kenya shillings for the course, but currently we have a discount that is running, and you'd only be required to pay 10,000 Kenya shillings to come for that class. For the Excel advanced course, it will still be free. So we are looking forward to having all of you join the class. And then on our course for data management and analysis using NVivo, usually we charge 70,000 for that course, but we have a discount that is running. So the cost would be anywhere between 40 to 35,000 Kenya shillings. So once the advertisement is finalized, we will have it running and we will share the same. Our course on R, it's also discounted. Instead of 45,000 Kenya shillings, we will be charging 25,000 Kenya shillings for the R course that will be offered in August, towards the end of August. So we will put detailed information about the courses and how you can register. And we'll be looking forward to having all of you, or even most of you, join our classes. So Alice, go ahead and respond to the questions on Excel and maybe additional information that we are going to share after this training.
Okay, so most of the people are just sending their regards, and they are very grateful for this class. I'm also grateful to be able to have taught you one thing or two. And then somebody saying at least he knows how to transpose that Sylvester idea. And his help is saying, yes, I need the record. After this, there will be a link on how to get the recording of this class. Then the other people are just saying thank you for the course. It's very much appreciated. We're also very grateful for you having joined, and you're welcome again for the advanced Excel training. So basically that's it.
Okay.
Then
okay, go ahead.
Asking, are we allowed to reshare with our friends who may be in need?
So once we share the recording, so you're free to reshare the recording with your friends, because this is a free course. So feel free and share with those you want to share with. So there is no problem with sharing. We will keep offering both free and paid courses, and we are hoping that we will continue to make a contribution in building the skills of people working in different areas, students who are struggling with data, so that we continually use data to inform our decisions. So we are happy to see all of you. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.